Look at this, folks. That's what we're making today. It's called Guinness stew. And boy, is it good. Hello, welcome to my kitchen. This is Texas Cooking Today. I'm Stuart. Today I'm going to be making Guinness stew. Now, Guinness didn't sponsor me. I really wish Guinness had sponsored me. That'd be really cool. Hey Guinness, if you want to sponsor someone, give me a shout. No, they did not, and unfortunately, but it doesn't change the stew. The recipe's the same. Got some great ingredients here. Got some great flavors ready to happen. All right, they're gonna come together in a way that is just magical. And once you've tried a Guinness stew, well, you'll see why people rave about it. If it's made right, it has a beautiful, robust flavor. It's absolutely fantastic. So I'll tell you what, come over, we'll look at what we got, and we're gonna get started right now making this stew. Come on. So the ingredients we're gonna be using today, easy enough. Some Guinness beer, some beef chuck that's been cubed up, one onion, beautiful red onion there that's diced, some diced up carrots, sugar, tomato paste, and a little bit of garlic, folks. That makes for good stew. Okay, we're heating our pan. Let me throw some water in there. Nah, look at that. You see how fast that water sizzled out of there? No, that pan is nowhere near hot enough. Let's try that again. Oh, now looky there. Looky there. See how that water's skating around? It sizzles in some spots. That's because we don't have perfectly even heating, but for the most part, that's hot. Okay, that's what you're looking for good searing, all right? So heat your pan until you get that condition. Once you do, then you can start your meat searing. Let's get some oil in here. So if you notice, I did not put all of my meat in there, okay? I put only part of it. The idea is I don't want to create a lot of moisture in the bottom of the pan. I want to have a searing condition so I get good browning on the meat. Had I thrown it all in there, it would have been that foamy, watery mess that you get, and I would have had gray meat. I'm looking for seared meat, and the idea here is this is about building flavor. It's about stacking flavors. And so we build those caramelized flavors, and then we caramelize the onion, and we stack all that flavor together and build a richer, more robust, flavorful stew. Any buildup we get in the bottom of the pan is very desired. Go ahead and shoot for that buildup. We're looking for some browning all the way around. All right, let's see how this is doing. Looking real nice. We're starting to get a little browning on those edges. I could use more, but that's not a problem. This is going to be a building process, and I've only got about 1/3 of my meat in here right now. All right, that's looking really good. So what I'm gonna do, put what I've already cooked right in here. I'm gonna heat the bottom of this pan again. Even though it's already hot, I wanna return it to that real super high searing temperature. Gives me better quality overall. Okay, now if everything is going perfect for you, the bottom of your pan should look something like that. You should be getting some serious browning on the edges of the meat. Some browning in the bottom of the pan. That's all good, and it's all flavor. Don't fight it. That's what you're looking for. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And every bit of that is flavor. Oh, wow. Now, the next item, onions. Got to get a little caramelization going on our onions. All right. So, exact same thing going on here. Get it going. Once we have the onions starting to turn brown on the edges and they've become somewhat translucent and they're softening, that's when we go back in with the meat and the other ingredients and we start our stewing process. That's beautiful. And that's a lot of flavor going on. It may look like it's burning, but that is caramelization. It is the reducing of sugars and the pyrolysis of those sugars. And it absolutely is totally delicious. If you want really good dishes, this is a condition to really look for. It makes a difference. All right, let's take a look. Oh, looky there. Look at that color that we have going on. A little bit of caramelizing on the edges of the onions. They're beginning to turn translucent. That's just right there. Now, gotta get the other ingredients in here to make this happen. Start with our meat. All right, I'm gonna go ahead right now and get that tomato paste down in here. And I'm just going to stir it in and kind of cover all of the ingredients with this paste. Now the reason I like to spread that paste out with my other ingredients, it just makes it easier to get it stirred into the rest of the dish. So I don't have this clump of paste in there when I go putting in the beer. All right. Now that is looking already just so good. I bet we put in some of these. Oh yeah. Yeehaw. Now in a moment, I'm just going to crush these garlic cloves to throw them in. I'll do that as my very last thing. Need to break out my nice Klein Tools opener here. Oh, you know, nothing like a Guinness. And I'll say this, the flavor. And that is easily the best stout that's ever been made. And I'll say this, I make beer. I love making beer. This kind of beer has a beautiful, heavy, dark maltiness to it that adds so much flavor to a dish. Isn't that beautiful? Right here is a pot of delicious about to happen. Now I'm going to say this, right now, this isn't going to smell so good. However, in about an hour and a half, it's going to be incredible smelling. All right, so the aroma is definitely going to improve. Let's take that sugar I had, put it down in there. Now, what's the sugar for? Normally, I don't ever put sugar in a braised dish, but I do this one on purpose. And it was that malt I was telling you about. You know, a dark beer, like a stout, uses toasted malts, and that's where they take barley and they malt it. That's to germinate it, and then they toast it, and that changes the color of the malt. And some toasting is dark, the same way they do coffee beans. You know, like a French roast coffee versus a light roast. All right, it's no different when it comes to grains for beers, and that extra dark flavor gives a deep flavor to this. It's sort of like a barley stew with an extra kick. All right, now got some garlic cloves here, and I'm just going to put down the paper towel so I don't get garlic on my counter. It just helps clean up. And crush each one. Take that and throw it right down in there. That's easy enough, right? Okay, so we got our garlic in there. Let's go ahead and get some salt down in here. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. And I might adjust that later. I'll taste it and see if it needs more. And then, if it does, then we'll give it more. I bring this to a boil now. Put a lid on it. We'll cover it and reduce it to a simmer and then let it sit there and simmer until it becomes incredible. Okay, now that has come to a boil. Just what we're looking for. Now, if you need to add a little water to this at any point, feel free to do so. There's a couple of ways when we're done cooking it to thicken it. One is just to allow it to reduce by opening the lid and allow it to cook down and reduce. That's okay, but it doesn't give me the kind of texture I really like to have in a stew. So what I'll probably do is use a little bit of cornstarch toward the end, maybe a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of cornstarch in the water, and that way it'll make this a beautiful texture. But I won't do that until the end of the stewing, all right? So this needs to cook right now. Now what I'm doing here, when I take and wash the side of the pan like that, that's just pulling that flavor right down into this food. The steaming process when the lid is on it will do part of that for me. Let's let it cook. Okay, get my timer here. I'm going to set a 1 hour timer right now. Now with this, I like to do mashed potatoes. So I've got another pot back here that's got my potatoes in it getting ready to boil. I'll do that towards the end of cooking the stew. The potatoes, if you want a great potato recipe, check that out on my channel. That's my extra buttery, fluffy mashed potatoes, and oh, they are good, let me tell you. So try that. Give it time, it's gonna stew. The quantity on everything that I've used today starts right here. We had a couple of pounds of beef chuck. You can use 2 to 3 pounds of cubed up beef chuck and use a good roast, folks. A little bit of marbling in that meat makes for a very, very good stew. All right, I used 1 medium red onion, diced that thing up. 4 medium carrots that were cut up. I used 2 tablespoons of sugar, and if you want to add a little bit more to that, just to taste your stew and add a little more sugar as you feel that you need. And I used about 4 ounces of tomato paste, 2 bottles of Guinness draft, and a couple of very large cloves of garlic. So you might want to consider anywhere from 3 to 4 cloves of garlic for this dish. All right, that's all there was to it. Let's take a look at the finished product. All right, now I finished simmering my Guinness stew, and it is absolutely beautiful and delicious. I'm looking forward to it. Right here, I made myself some mashed potatoes. If you want to learn how I do my mash, then certainly please take a look at that recipe. I do a beautiful, very soft, fluffy, light mash that is done with this is done using a food mill. The nice thing about a food mill when you're making a mash is it breaks down that starch chain, and that's the thing that is actually causing the potato to seem really sticky, is that starch chain. Once you break it, it gets very soft and light, and that food mill is the perfect way. There we are. Oh yes. I have so looked forward to this. Look at that. That, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm talking about right there. Beautiful Guinness stew. A dish that you're sure to remember. Okay, now let's take a nice close-up look at that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I'm ready to dig in. Oh boy. I really looked forward to it. That meat's just buttery soft. Sweet carrots. And the juice, the gravy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's stellar good. And by the way, I didn't do anything to thicken it either. I just left it just exactly like it was. Because you know, sometimes you just hit it on the head of the nail and it's perfect. So enjoy this beef stew. And thank you for watching. Please do me a favor, take a look in the description box down below, click on those links, drop some comments below, click a thumbs up if you like this recipe. Also, if you haven't subscribed, why not? Just subscribe. It's not going to cost you anything. Click the bell. You'll know when I post new recipes, good ones like this. You're going to love them. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.